cannot, namely constant and never-ending improvement. Constant and never-ending improvement, Mr. Kadar Perez.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. How many of you know what Thomas Edison was famous for?
Inventing the light bulb.
Inventing the light bulb. Wonderful. How many of you know what Alexander Graham Bell was famous for? Telephone. How about the Wright brothers? Very good. These men, and many other men and women as witnessed by history, were driven by an constant and never-ending improvement. And we remember them because of their invaluable contributions that helped change our lives and advance mankind. But then I'm wondering, where is my contribution? What will be my contribution? Do I even have the capacity to contribute? These thoughts used to keep me awake not too long ago. Now I'm 28 years old, too young to go through a midlife crisis. And life has been good to me. I was born in Bombay, India, where I spent the first 18 years of my life. I had a wonderful childhood, loving parents, siblings, friends, and then I moved to the US at the age of 18. I got my bachelor's degree and later my master's degree in engineering from one of the top universities in the country, the University of Notre Dame, White Parish. And later I was recruited by a Fortune 100 company to come work for them, which is where I was working for the last 6 years. I was smart, educated, financially stable, had a great career ahead of me. So I figured, hey, eventually I'll settle down, get married, have kids, and when they're all grown up, retire, off to some sunny state that grows oranges, and they will comfortably on my pension, 401k, social security, I want to be social security when I retire, but regardless. And 100, 200 years from now, nobody would know or care that I had existed. And why would they? What had I contributed? Did I make my world a better place than the one I had inherited? What was my contribution, other than being a selfish existence? And this rankled at me, but I didn't have any answers. I even tried to rationalize saying, hey Kedar, this is the best deal you can get from life. This is as good as it gets. So I didn't work. And I was miserable. And then something happened. Something that changed my paradigm of life 180 degrees. And that was a poem by Jesse Rittenhouse, which goes like this. I bargained with life for a penny, and life would pay no more. However, I begged in the evening when I counted my scanty store. For life is a just import. It gives you what you ask, but once you have set the wages, why? You must bear the tax. So I worked for a menial's hire, only to learn dismayed that any wage I had asked of life would have willingly given. After I read that poem, I realized I had the power to reshape my life, change my life any way I wanted if I'm willing to work for it. And that's when I resolved that from this point onward, I shall seek the very best that life has to offer and won't settle for anything less than that. So I spent weeks and weeks fleshing out details on what I wanted my life to look like. What did my best of life mean to me? And at the end of the whole effort, I had my blueprint of life. This is how I wanted my life to turn out. And it had 5 major areas. The first area was the area of spirituality. Now, friends, I'm not a religious man, but that makes me a prime candidate for missionaries. Even so, I believe that a relationship with God is essential. And I chose the path of meditation. So I sit down for meditation every day to express my gratitude for the gift of life and thank Him for the opportunity and the talent He has bestowed on me to make the very best of it. And every day I meditate is one day closer to reaching my goal through constant and never-ending improvement. The second area is the area of health. And my goal is to be in the best shape of my life. And that means working out regularly and eating right. And every day that I do that, gets me one step closer to reaching that goal through constant and never-ending improvement. And all this is natural, without the use of hormones or steroids. The third area is the area of professional development. And I have two goals. One is to win a Nobel Prize in physiology. And second is to start my own company and turn it into one of the world's biggest empires. Are these audacious goals? You bet. But I'm working towards it each and every day. I left my job to go back to school to get a PhD in bioengineering, which is why I'm studying at UU. And I'm also an active member of the University of Utah's entrepreneurial group. And I spend every day doing research and exploring business ventures. And every day that I do that, gets me one step closer to reaching my goals through constant and never-ending improvement. The fourth area is the area of personal development. And here, my goal is to cultivate a set of values, of principles, that guide my thoughts, actions, and decisions. For example, this year I'm focusing on integrity. And that means being responsible for not only my actions, but also my words. It is challenging, and there are breakdowns. But every day that I practice integrity, gets me one step closer to incorporating it through constant and never-ending improvement. The fifth area, but definitely the most important area, is the area of relationships. The greatest wealth a person can accumulate in his lifetime is the wealth of relationships, because it's your friends, it's your family that make your life special. It took me a while to figure that out. But now, they take a priority in my life. And every opportunity I get to strengthen those bonds, I take it. And every time I do that, it gets me one step closer to the goal through constant and never-ending improvement. So after this long monologue, if there is one takeaway from my monologue, it's this. The 2008 version of Kedara is much better than the 2007 version of Kedara. But the 2009 version of Kedara is going to be the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Kedar. For our new members and guests, typically the icebreaker speech is 4 to 6